Just let us know, when we'll be going live because I just have the presentation open on my screen. Just let us know, when we'll be going live because I just have the presentation open on my screen. Okay, sure. I'll just keep a tab on the number of people that we have, that have joined. One second. Just let us know, when we'll be going live because I just have the presentation open on my screen. Okay, sure. I'll just keep a tab on the number of people that we have, that have joined. One second. Yeah. Hi everyone. I hope that we are all. Just let us know, when
Hi
we'll be going
everyone.
live because I just have the presentation open on my screen. In a few minutes, we'll wait for a couple of more people to join. And until then, if there are any queries, anything that you would, want us to address specifically, please put it in the live chat below, and we are able to access the live chat, so we would be able to see your queries. And probably just give us a thumbs up if we are clearly audible to you all and clearly visible.
We'll start at 7:35 sharp. Wait for 3 more minutes.
Anything that you wish to address or anything that any specific query that you might have. Right. Yes, we'll be taking all these kinds of doubts, Mansi, the ones that you have regarding preparation and the amount of time that you have. We'll be all taking that up. And I hope that some of it would be answered during the session itself, or you can, ask that again towards the end of the session as well. We'll have a specific time just for Q&A round as well. Yes, Aditya would be taking up GK preparation as well. Sorry, Ajit, this session is specifically only for the flagship course HRM and LR. We won't be talking about any other course that this has to offer. But you can definitely check out the official website to know more about the same. We'll be starting in a minute. So just in case your friends haven't joined in yet, or you wish to put in anything else in the chat box, please feel free to do so. Yes, Atul will be covering GK preparation too. Just hold on till the entirety of the session. Sure. I think we are good to go. We can start.
Yeah, we can start.
So, hi everyone. We are Vedanshi and Vipul. We are first year HRM and LR students at TISS Mumbai. And we'll be talking about the life at TISS that we've had so far as a part of the chapter discussion series that we have hosted for you all. But before we begin, we'll quickly give an introduction for all of your convenience about us, about how our journey has been so far. So, Vipul, if you could just start by introducing yourself.
Yeah, so very good evening, everyone. My name is Vipul Malhotra. I am from Delhi. I am a doctor by my graduation, and I've also studied hospital administration at TISS Mumbai, and currently I'm pursuing HRM and LR from the same institute.
I'm Vedanshi. I'm also from Delhi, and I've completed my graduation in BA Honours Political Science in 2021 from Delhi University. And after that, I worked for 1 year with Growth Maximizers, which is an HR consultancy firm. And after that, I decided to pursue my master's. So here am I at this pursuing HRM and LR. And we have completed our first semester here, and we've just started with the second semester. So we'll be talking about our life at TISS, what TISS has to offer, and what is in store for all of you all. So quickly taking you through, what this is all about. It's very famous. This is all known for its various courses that it has to offer. But quickly talking about the various USPs, that might be there, what makes this stands out. So first of all, we have fieldwork internships, which is one of the major components of the unmatched pedagogy that this has. So we have the fieldwork, which is to say that you have one internship per semester in the field of your studies. So for example, we had our first fieldwork internship in the first semester itself, and that was in the HR domain itself. And this is the kind of internship opportunity that you get every semester. So you have one summer internship opportunity, and in addition to that, you have four fieldwork internship opportunities as well. And parallelly, no other B school or any institute for that matter that is offering you a master's degree would offer you so many internship opportunities, that too in extremely diverse fields and extremely diverse domains. And both of us will be sharing our experiences as well about our fieldwork. But now we will be talking about the other USPs that we have to offer at this.
Yeah. So these were all the technical things or what you can expect out of the course curriculum. But apart from that, this has a lot many things to offer. Like if you come at this campus, you will meet people from every state, from every region of the country, from different varied backgrounds. Like she's an arts student, I am a doctor. For example, especially in HRM and LR, there are people from all varied background, different ideologies, different ethnicities. So it's a full package. Your personality will eventually grow to and develop to become something better, a better version of yourself. So along with all the package that in terms of curriculum TISS HR and LR has to offer to you, it's also the TISS Mumbai as a whole, which also offers you something in an addition, which will add to your personality.
Right. And besides that, as I think some of you might be aware, it's given on the TISS website as well. We have something called the dissertation, which is a mandatory, evaluation that we have at the end of our 2 years course. And this dissertation is something that's very, very unique to TISS, because it not just helps you do an evidence-based management, but this is something that will stay with you throughout your life, even when you go out of TISS. So you really learn qualitative research, quantitative research, and these are the kind of methodologies that companies really look for in future leaders. They do not just want management graduates who have had done some case competitions or have done some case studies, but this actually lets you do that ground research and do that evidence-based management that really helps you further in your career as well.
Also, we have the honor to do an NGO stint along with our fieldworks. So this gives us an opportunity to work in a close connect with the community. We all are placed in different NGOs across different sectors where we can work along with human resources and other sectors so that we can know what more is going in the society and how we can contribute to it in a greater manner.
Right. And lastly, I think the last USP, which is very less talked about, but it's still a USP that this has to offer, is the extremely small batch size that we have, right, at HRM and LR. We're just a batch of 77 people, our own batchmates. We are just a batch of 77 people. So it's not just about the lesser number of people that you have, but it is also about the close-knit network that you have with your own batchmates, with your seniors, and with your alums as well. So given the small number of people that we are in our own batch and our say subsequent batches that we would have, it creates a very close knit network that you have amongst yourselves. And unlike any other college, just allows that close knit network to be used to your advantage in future, even after you get out of this. So these are some of the USPs that we just wanted to highlight and we wanted to talk about. And now we'll quickly probably take you through the various opportunities that you have while doing HRM and LR, and your life beyond that as well. Yeah, we could go on to this slide.
So, as mentioned here, these are some of the prominent fieldwork recruiters. These are the fieldwork recruiters, which where we do our 4 fieldwork internship. Like these are all major brands. Some of them are Marico, Asian Paints, Reliance, Bajaj, Mars. These are very big brands across different sectors: FMCG, technology, manufacturing. Everything is covered.
Right. And quickly talking about our role fieldwork experiences as well, because both of us have had the honor of doing one fieldwork in our first semester. So I was personally interning with United Breweries, which is now in collaboration with Heineken as well. So I was working in an extremely different domain, even though I have 1 year of work but I never had the exposure of going to a plant. So this in itself was a great opportunity for me to go to a plant and see a brewery and see how basically beer is manufactured from the start till the end of the process. And I I was working on a very factory driven role. So I was working on a project that was related to the overtime at the Taloja unit that United Breweries had. So all in all, it was a very great experience, a very novel experience, I would say, and I got to learn, a lot of new exposure, and it was a great opportunity for me.
Yeah, and my fieldwork was at a company called Nayara Energy. It is one of the largest oil and petrochemicals company in the country, and it has the second largest refinery in the country. My project was around HR analytics and how to create data dashboards for having different metrics which revolves around human resources. So, being a doctor, I had no exposure of how what oil industry is, how to work there. But this is what fieldwork does. It gives you that exposure. You can know different companies, you can know different industries, and understand business in a greater aspect, not just HR.
Right. So this was about our fieldwork, but besides the internship opportunities that we have to offer, there are of course many great other opportunities. There are of course the case competitions that you have. That of course every B school student is also entitled to. But then these are the kind of opportunities that are exclusive, and that you are able to ace at. And these are just some of the laurels that our batchmates and our seniors have been able to bring about to this. And besides that, just taking this moment to talk about HR also quickly, because we often see HR as just unidimensional or say a single directional function. However, there is a lot more that goes into creating the HR function in and of itself in an organization, right? There is the learning and development function, you have performance management, you have rewards management. So there is a lot more that goes into HR than what is visible from the superficial level. So, we would really recommend that you read up more about HR in case you're interested for the course. And of course, we keep conducting such sessions that talk about more HR functions as well and our experiences as well. And this is just a glimpse of the industry exposure that we have had. And I'm quickly talking about the summer placements. So our batch has already been through the summer placement process as well. And we've all been placed in great organizations. Again, here are some of the organizations that we have to show you all. Starting from Hindustan Unilever, PNG, Swiggy, Oyo Rooms, Reckitt, Accenture Strategy, Marico, Aditya Birla Group. Again, these are some of the brands that we have to offer, but of course, there's a lot more that comes into the picture. And these are just some of the summer placement facts and figures.
Yeah, so these are the summer placement figures of our batch. The average stipend being 2,62,000 and the highest being 4 lakh for a period of 2 months. These are some of the final recruiters which come from for the final placement. These obviously overlap with the summer placement, some of them. And again, it's a very long list. This is not an exhaustive list. There are a lot many brands which come to TISS HRM LR for recruitment. This is just for showing you.
And this is just a glimpse about life that we have at this. And since we are the first offline batch that got to witness the entire program offline so far, and we've been very lucky because so in the first picture, if you see, this is the first batch of HRMLR when the course was called Personal Management and Industrial Relations. This is the first batch that ever graduated from this flagship course, and we had the fortune of meeting them, interacting with them. Then just life at this is extremely lively. We celebrate almost all the festivals together in the campus, both the new campus and the old campus. Then of course we do have some of our alums, constantly visiting us, taking sessions with us, and just having a live interaction with us. We'll quickly move forward to some of the leading alums. You can just take a glimpse through it.
Yeah, you will find this HR alumni in all the leading organizations and all the leading companies of the country in the human resources sector. Some of the major CHROs of some major companies are our alumni. These are some of more of our alumni. And now talking about the exam preparation.
Yes, I think this is what most of you were waiting for. And besides that, we'll be talking about other initiatives as well. But Chat with Distance is just one of the initiatives that the Aspirants Relations Committee officially holds for the aspirants. And just in case some of you might be aware, but in case you want, it's still not too late. There is something called Quiztopia that we run for the aspirants, and Quiztopia is available on Facebook, Pagalga, and Telegram of the official channels that we have. We'll also link them down at the end of the session for all of your convenience. But these are just some of the ways that we're trying to help you out. And in case there's any query, there's anything that you wish to contact us, you can always reach out to the official handles of Aspirants Relations Committee. And now we'll quickly talk about the strategy that you might want to follow and the pattern of the exam.
Yeah, so this I guess all of us know that there are 100 minutes, 100 questions, and 100 marks, and there is no negative marking in the TISSNET examination. 40 marks for general awareness, 30 for mathematical and reasoning, and 30 for English proficiency. Some of the important points is that there is no negative marking in the exam. So completing all the questions, attempting all the questions should be the target of each and everyone. There is a sectional cutoff for GK, 35% or 14 marks for open category and different for different categories. And this test is common for all the courses at TISS, not just for HRM and LR. And GK is a very important part of this exam, we know, because it has the highest weightage.
Right. And quickly talking about the strategy part of it, and then probably we'll start taking the questions that are coming up in the live chat. So just in case you haven't put your question as yet, please make sure to do that now. And just talking about the strategy bit of it. So as people already said that it's a very strategic exam. You have 100 minutes, you have 100 questions, but not every question would take the same amount of time. So strategize your preparation very very well. That which section do you wish to attempt first, in which order do you wish to attempt the exam. And when it comes to preparation strategy, we hope that you've already been doing some of the mock series. You might have been going through some of the material that's there available online. But in case you haven't, as I said, there is Quiztopia that you can refer to. So Quiztopia is basically an initiative, wherein we provide you daily with 6 questions, two from each section. That is English, Maths, and LR, and general awareness. And these questions are very basically kept made by keeping in mind the pattern of the exam. So I would suggest that you start off by downloading the past year papers of TISSNET that are available in the public domain. I believe 2016-17 onwards there are exam papers that are available. So you should definitely start by going ahead and solving those papers, because that would really give you an idea as to how to go about the preparation. And besides that, if there is any specific insight that you might want to add here.
Yeah, some of them have asked about GK also. It's part of the strategy though. But as Vedanshi said, that looking at the previous year papers, you can take out some themes out of it. For example, awards being a theme or government policies being a theme, and then maneuver around it and make questions yourself. Now you can follow any source website or any newspaper, but build your data or build your news information around those themes. So that helped me, and that might help you as well.
Right. I think I followed something very, very similar for GK to what Vipul did. I read newspapers almost on a regular basis, and that really helped me not just for TISSNET, but for my further preparation for extempore and interview rounds as well. And besides that, there are a lot of e-capsules that are available on YouTube channels, on Google as well. So you can probably refer to those, because there are capsules that give you monthly GK, weekly GK. So you can definitely use that for your convenience. And when it comes to English and Maths and LR, there are a lot of again material that's available. But anything up till the level of class 10th is something that we recommend, because that is something that is like the level of difficulty that this website also talks about. So these are the basic concepts, or say the basic strategy that we have to offer to you. And we'll quickly go through the questions that you have in case there's anything specific that we might have missed out. So probably you can just reping your question. So, Mayank, your question is regarding the number of seats for general category. So, the official intake for the course is 68, and you can definitely check out the bifurcation that this has to offer. Being a central university, the university offers the reservation policies of that is applicable to the central colleges. So, you can definitely check out the seat breakup on the website. But the official intake for HRM and LR is 68, as mentioned on the website until this year.
Mansi has asked that is 1 month preparation enough for the exam? It depends on the level of your preparation. If you're confident with the English preparation or the quant preparation, 1 month is, in my opinion, enough time. If you revise your basics, if you are ready to give your time right now, also you will be in a good position to give the exam. So you can start at this juncture also.
Right. And Aditya, to answer your question, where can we find Quiztopia? So as you can see on the screen right now, we have listed down the names of all our Facebook pages, Pagal Guy pages, and other social media handles. So Quiztopia specifically goes out live every day at 9 p.m. on Pagal Guy and Facebook, and the same is shared on Telegram as well. So you could see the logo that is right above the YouTube logo. That is the Pagal Guy logo. You could follow us there, or you could join our Facebook groups as well to stay updated about the same.
Vikas, no, TISSMAT is not part of the evaluation this year, so you should not worry about that.
Right. As you might have seen on the official website, it talks about TISSNET, and the second stage is online assessment. So details regarding the online assessment are yet to come out, but the TISSMAT exam is not going to happen this year as well.
GK preparation again, we have covered it already, but again, there are different magazines and capsules which are available in the market. You can go and buy any one of them, but please restrict your sources to some defined sources and just read about themes. There are different themes which we just mentioned, and those will really help because your retention will also improve.
Right. Aaron, to answer your question, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. You're saying that you're weak in quants. How can you be prepared? So, as I said, for quants, English, NLR, all these sections can be covered easily by any test series that you might be a part of. There are multiple test series available in the public domain. A lot of coaching institutes offering you the same. So, I would suggest that you go strategize your preparation in a manner that you're focusing on topic tests as well as sectional tests. That is to say that, for example, if you know that in quants there are a particular kind of topics, say modern maths or higher maths, that are troubling you a little more, so you can start by giving their topic test and then move on to give its sectional test. So strategize your preparation in a manner that you're moving in a phased manner and not taking everything all together.
Varun, to answer your question, 5-year work experience and age 27, does it matter or not? To Varun and everyone else, no, it does not matter. This is how TISS is different from your IIMs and every other tier 1 colleges. It does not judge you on the basis of your gap years in the resume, your work experience being fresher, or whatever, wherever you're coming from, it does not judge. I'm 27 myself and I am a doctor. I had no relation to HR. I was already pursuing hospital administration. I did 2 semesters there and then took a deferment and I came here. So don't worry, the panel won't judge you on the basis of your background. Only your answers in the assessment would matter.
Right, and that is what people talked about in the beginning as well. That is the richness of this, the kind of diversity it has to offer. As I said, in our own class, we literally have a spectrum of people with the age of 21 to 31. So that is a huge spectrum that we have to talk about. And there are people coming from all walks of life with all kinds of work experiences, with no work experiences as well. So having gaps or no gaps or the kind of profile that you have is nothing to worry about, as long as you're acing the exam well and you're well prepared for your interview. So, Ish Mahi's question is TISSNET exam, what is the probable timeline for that? So, if you check out the official website, it says that it would happen anytime between the last week of January to the last week of February. So, we are yet to get an official date, a fixed date from the administration. But as soon as we get the date, it would be updated on the TISS website as well as on all of our social media pages of Aspirants Relations Committee. But we would suggest you to keep a constant check on the website as well as our social media pages, because we would be knowing the date very soon now, since the time is very near.
Ask Mai is asking how to improve quant. Again, I think, in my opinion, only practice can improve your quant. And there is a lot of time still left. You can start right now also. I think a couple of more people have asked a similar question. And you can prepare right now also. Keep on doing your quant, keep revising your GK, and it'll really help. Don't think that it's now late because the exam is coming. It's very normal to have this anxiety, but keep going and keep revising your stuff.
To answer Mahima's question, which is how many months of current affairs do we have to cover? So, Mahima, we would suggest you that you cover at least 1 year of current affairs, because that is ideally the general awareness that the institute would want to check for you. But just in case you have no time and you wish to go to some months before a year as well, you're free to do so. But ideally, 1 year is an optimum time that we would suggest that you should cover current affairs up to that time.
Many people are actually asking that we have 10-year, 13-year, or 8-year experience. Experience is not part of eligibility criteria for HRM and LR, and you can absolutely apply.
Right. To answer Aryan's question, what kind of questions are asked in round two? So, round two for the last 2 years has been an online assessment round, and this is what the website says this year as well, but we are yet to get more information about it. But for us, at least, round two comprised of two components. It was the extempore round followed by the personal interview round. So, extempore, as most of you might be aware, you're given a topic and you have to speak on the spot of it after thinking for say a couple of minutes, and then you have to speak on it. And this is followed by your personal interview round. So, we are yet to get the components for this year's online assessment. But this is hopefully, this has been the pattern for the last 2 years. So, you can prepare according to that.
So they are talking about the language in the interview. I think the interview panel gives you the freedom to express in whichever language you are comfortable in. If you are not comfortable in English, they give you room to speak in Hindi or your language. Uh, Condition that they also understand the language. The panel should also understand the language. But knowing basic English obviously helps, but there is no negative marking if you can't speak very good communicative English. There's nothing like that.
Right. I'll just take up Chandni's question. She's asking, is there any cutoff for general female, as the cutoff for general student is really high? So can a general student clear this? Chandni, I think that's a very specific question. But to answer your question regarding cutoff, yes, there is a cutoff that exists for the GK section only. There is no cutoff for the other two sections, but GK does have a cutoff of 14 marks for the general category. So that is the bare minimum, that you have to clear to be able to sit for the next round. So it may so happen that you may clear the overall cutoff, but the GK cutoff might not be cleared. So then you would not be allowed to sit for the next round. So make sure that you're clearing both the GK cutoff as well as the overall cutoff.
Answering Praveen's question, what kind of question will be asked in second round? Again, for us, it was an extempore, and the topics were varied across different sectors. For example, I was given a topic to speak on judicial reforms in India, which you would think is not connected to HR. So it can be anything from current affairs to maybe your academic background, or maybe connected to HR. It could be anything, but maybe there's no extempore this year, or maybe there is. We need more clarification on that. All we know is this MAT is not there, so you can expect something like that. And the interview questions would be based on the DAF form that you will be filling, detailed application form, and that's completely discretion of the panel what they want to ask you. Anything under the sun, what they feel is right, they can ask. No one can predict that.
Right. And just to add on to how to go about your interview preparation, even though it's a little too early to think about that, but one strongest recommendation, as it's always given for any kind of interviews, is to truly be yourself. You should never go ahead, and because these are the kind of people, the panelists have been taking these kinds of interviews from years now. So the minute you talk about something, that is not true about your profile, or something that you haven't really done in real life, or do not have the real exposure or experience of going ahead and doing it, they would really catch you, and they would grill you more on that. So make sure the detailed application form also that you would be filling after clearing round one, that is TISSNET. You are absolutely honest in that. Be very, very honest about your entire profile, be it your gap years, be it your work experience, because this is the kind of these are the kind of questions that would be basis your answers itself, and you'll always have the power to drive your interviews. So make sure that you are answering extremely honestly and focusing on the parts you want the panel to ask you more questions about.
Utki, regarding the fee structure, it's available on the website, and the hostel fees is separate from the academic fees. Both are mentioned on the same web page. The same web page. The hostel fees is mentioned below the academic fees, so you can go and check there. The detailed fees structure is available there.
To answer Shrikant's question, which monthly magazines to prefer? So Shrikant, as we said, there are a lot of books that are available specifically focusing on current affairs and general awareness. Then there are a lot of e-capsules that are available, or a lot of coaching institutes providing GK capsules. Then there are YouTube channels that are providing you playlists for covering current affairs from starting from the entire year till the end of the year. So you have to decide for yourself, what works out for you, because different things work out for different people, and we cannot really say, what might work for you. So we would suggest that you, decipher through these various options and then come at a conclusion that what is working the best for you.
Someone is asking the date for TISSNET. You can check the website. The date is already there, and you can align your preparation according to that date.
Yeah. So there is a timeline that has been given so far, and the specific date is yet to come out. And as soon as it is there, we'll be releasing that on our social media pages as well. But make sure that you're checking the website and the social media pages regularly. So Abhinav is asking how much marks should we aim for HRM. So when it comes to TISSNET, the cutoff usually year by year varies from anything between 68 to 71, 72. That has been the pattern in the last 3-4 years. But we would recommend that you try to target anything above 70, just to be on the safe spot and not lose out on any cutoff or any clearance marks. So probably anything which is 70 above would be a safe score in TISSNET.
Also, what I think is, for example, last year the cutoff was around something 67, 68 for general category, but I don't think that is the right way to attempt this exam. You attempt every question on its merit and try it, because there is no negative marking. That's the best thing about this net exam. You can go about answering 100 questions and just practice your hit rate. So don't worry about how much marks you have to get, because with that psychology, you won't be able to answer good questions. If you know the question, you will answer it. So it doesn't matter what the cutoff is gonna be. You just give your best preparation, give yourself the best chance.
Sure. Aditya is asking if we could share our own preparation experiences. So I think GK is something both of us have already covered. We refer to material available in the public domain. I personally refer to e-capsules that are there. I am not really a video learning person, so I did not refer to videos. But when it comes to English, Maths, and LR, I was giving topic tests each day, and I was giving sectional tests every week, and there were mocks that I was giving. But as I said, I started by solving the past year papers, because that really helped me understand the pattern of the exam. Because TISSNET, to be very honest, is very different from other management exams that some of you might be sitting for. The time limit is different, the strategy is different, so you have to plan your strategy according to that.
Yeah.
Vipul, if you have anything to add to strategy.
Yeah, almost similar. I relied on e-capsules also, and some of the magazines also. And again, as I said, I pick out themes around GK which I had to study. For example, recent developments, some awards, some sports tournaments, uh, some policy formations, or even static modern history or things like that you can do. If you look at the previous year papers, you'll get a good idea what kind of questions are there in the exam, and you can prepare your GK around that. Now, it can vary for different people. For me, maths was my weakest zone, and GK was the strongest. So, in my head, I knew how many marks do I have to score in different segments. If you are someone, if you are confident that I'll get 27 out of 30 in maths, you can probably score 25, 23 in GK, and that would be fine. Or maybe 21, who knows. So that's the game in your head that you can do. But to prepare GK, that is the strategy we followed. Prepare around themes, study the previous year questions very well, and prepare your maths, practice it, and the English proficiency. That's it.
Right. To answer Aaron's question, suggest 4 test programs that you can select because you're about to fill the form. So, Aaron, you're allowed to select 3 programs at max when you're filling the TISSNET form. And we really can't, as I said in the beginning as well, we really can't talk about other courses. But what we can, tell you about is that be very sure while, giving your preferences and the courses that you're selecting. Because as we said that if you clear TISSNET stage 1, then there is a detailed application form is what will come out, and you have to fill that form. And one of the questions in that form, usually revolves around why you wish to pursue that particular course. So, don't just go ahead and select courses for no reason, no good reason at all. Be very sure about, what are the kind of career prospects that you want, or what is the kind of industry that you wish to get into. And basis that, you should go ahead and fill out courses.
Also, another thing that I would like to add is that there are no best courses. There are different courses. You cannot actually compare HR course with a social work course or a healthcare course. These are all different courses. And if you want to pursue HRM and LR, you decide yourself which is the course for you and which course do you want to pursue. And that's it. There are no best courses in my opinion. All are different.
Right. Kamal is asking about minimum package for HRM and LR. I think we've already shown you the summer placement statistics that talked about the mean, median, and the highest stipend that we've got. But in case you wish to understand the final placement statistics as well, they are up on our LinkedIn and Instagram pages and all of the social media pages. So you can definitely refer to that. Our seniors and other batches, alums, stats have already been put up. So you can definitely refer to that.
Srishti, extempore topics. After the TISSNET examinations, ARC would be handing out extempore topics. Right now, we are focusing on the TISSNET strategy and how to get through TISSNET.
Right. Yes, Akash, placements also vary from course to course. That is because the kind of exposure and the kind of, again, the kind of industry that you're wishing to work in, that is what your placements also depend upon. How is the Okay, Carl is asking how is the design course in TISS? Please specify the placements of the same. I think again placements is something we've talked about, but talking about the course design, so we have 4 courses as I said in the beginning, and ours is a very rigorous course. We have classes almost starting from morning till evening, and we are doing all subjects that come under the sun of management, and specifically focusing on human resource management. So this semester itself, we are learning all dimensions of HRM. Just to name a few: performance management, compensation, that is rewards management, and there's learning and development, financial management, marketing and sales. So there are a lot of subjects, that are specific to your own course, to your own industry that you would be learning. And of course, there's a dissertation that we talked about, and the 4 fieldworks that you have. So all of these together comprise your academic components, and then there is a summer internship that happens in your first year, second semester.
Someone is asking about the category reservation. There are different cutoffs for categories, and you can find previous year cutoffs on different internet platforms also, and maybe on TISS website also. So you can check it there.
Aryan is asking about how to make profile for this for getting easy admission. So Aryan, as we talked about the diversity element at this, there is no cookie cutter framework that you can follow. That you have to have these things on your CV to be able to get into this. Every individual has had a different life. They've had different experiences so far. What we can recommend to you is that you focus on your experiences that you've had so far very very well, and you talk about those experiences because those are what define you and distinguish you from others as well. So there is no such set pathway that you can follow, or set courses that you can do to get into TISSNET. But of course, if you're interested about HRM, if you're passionate about HR, you can probably read up more about it, do some Coursera courses on it if you feel like, just to enhance your knowledge and go beyond your horizons at this point in time.
Yes, you have to go through an interview after TISSNET. There are two more stages: one online assessment and then online interview, personal interview, which you will have to go through. And we also did. Some people are asking our experience of the interview. Again, that will be covered in detail after the TISSNET. To speak in brief, the questions in interview revolve around your background, and there are some situational questions and some contextual questions, some questions related to human resources. And as I said, the panel can ask you anything under the sun which they feel that you should know, or to judge your personality in any sense. So there were a lot many questions which I don't even remember exactly now. And you will answer.
I had a similar experience. So because I had work ex of 1 year, and so most of the questions that were revolving were around my work experience, certain situations that I might have faced there. How did I tackle them? What will I do if I face similar situations in my future, prospective organization as well? Then there could be questions about, personally I didn't face this question, but there could be questions about your educational background as well, as to why you wish to pursue HRM at this point in time, or what motivated you to pursue a degree at this. I was asked about relocating from Delhi to Mumbai. Would I be comfortable with that? And why in the first place do I want to relocate to Mumbai when there are good universities there in Delhi? So questions can come again, as Vipul said, from anything that you have mentioned on your profile that is there in your detailed application form. And hence again, we are reiterating this point. That is why you have to be extremely honest and extremely truthful about what you're writing in there, because questions, they will dig up questions from the detailed application form itself. So write what you have already done, what you've already experienced, and don't go faff around there, or don't just write things for the sake of it, just to look like just to sugarcoat things. Don't go ahead and do that.
Also, Suraj is asking TISS versus baby IMs, which one is better for HR? Suraj, TISS has one of the best HR course to offer, not just in India but in Asia Pacific region, according to different international rankings like US and IIM. So we can talk about TISS, the curriculum it has to offer, the placements it has to offer, and they are wonderful. And if I have the liberty to say, much better than many of the institutes that you are trying to inquire about. And it's a place to be in our experiences, not just because we are in this course, but the aim of ARC is also to let the aspirants know what is there on the other side of the table. So again, it's a really good course, and if you are interested in it, fill it as your first priority. And there is still a month left. Keep on revising your stuff, and you're good to go.
There is one question. It's an anonymous person, but it talks about marketing role in HRM scope for marketing combined HRM and TISS. I think you're trying to ask about one of the subjects that we have. So in this semester itself, we are studying a subject called marketing and sales management, and it is basically briefing us and giving us the exposure to the world of marketing. because of course fields of marketing and HR really overlap and collaborate with each other in their day-to-day lives. So hence that is the reason why we're studying that subject, why we're studying that course. And all of the subjects that we have had so far have been really insightful to say the least. And for me at least they've really opened a lot of horizons for me and have been great opportunities to learn more about the business world and the HR world.
Yeah, and not just marketing, everything related to business, we have to study finance, operations, supply chain, everything. HR, it's not just for HR, you have to be business managers. So, our course incorporates every business domain which we have to study to become good managers in big companies. So, you have to know all this. So, all these courses are also included in our curriculum.
Right. To answer Aditi's and Vaibhav's question, your questions are about courses, different courses. They are about ODCL and analytics. So we really don't, have a lot of information, and nor do we hold the liberty to talk about other courses. But you can definitely check out this official website that gives you the course outline and other social media pages that these courses might have to know more about the same. We can give you as much information as you can about HRM and LR, and in case there are any specific doubts related to that, we would be happy to take that up.
Again, when people are asking about the loan if it's available, yes, loan will be available, but will you will have to take a loan from bank yourself. TISS does not facilitate any type of credit or loan taking on your behalf. You'll have to arrange that, but it's quite easy to get a loan. Many of our batchmates have taken the loan from nearby banks in Mumbai only, and they know that people from TISS come there for taking education loans. So there won't be administrative issues, and it will be hassle free. But you will have to do the labor yourself and take loan for your education.
So, Bashish, to answer your question, no, there is no TISSNET this year. We've already talked about it. You can probably go back once the student is over, but yes, there is no TISSNET this year. Prasad, I think we have covered this extensively, how to prepare for GK. We have talked about a lot of e-capsules, a lot of video channels, and a lot of playlists that are available. And there are also some books in case you would like to refer to that.
Again, there is no effect of
Yes.
gap year in your resume. You're not judged on this basis. Don't worry about your gap years.
So, Hari Vignesh is asking about the learning outcomes and any social related projects that we might have. I think we will talked about the NGO stint that we have as a part of our curriculum. This NGO stint is basically a rural immersion program that this has to offer, and this is basically to build that sensitivity in all of us. And of course, as I talked about earlier as well, that this does not just let you be leaders of the world. They are preparing you to be socially sensitive leaders of tomorrow. So hence we have the rural immersion program wherein you go ahead and intern with one of the any of the NGOs that the college has to allot to you. So it's not just the big MNCs that you're working with as a part of your fieldwork and summer internship, but also an NGO that you would be working with, and the NGO stint that you have to offer. So yes, there is something on the socially related side as well.
Vaibhav, about English proficiency, it generally revolves around your jumbled words, paraphrase sentences, and your vocabulary knowledge, things around that. So in one time, yes, there are limitations to how much you can learn it if your English is, let's say, weak. But still, there are a lot of things that you can do. You can take mocks. ARC also puts Quiztopia mocks. You can attempt that, and you can read more. That will improve your English, and the mocks will certainly help. And you can go along that lines. And there are also vocabulary books. And I personally feel that doing as many questions as you can will really help you in this.
Ritik, we've already talked about our interview experiences, just in case you missed out on it. So we basically covered, how it talks about your own background. It could be your educational background, your work experience background. So you have to be well prepared about everything and anything that you have done in life so far, because questions would be related to that, and there could be some situational based questions as well. Because again, the interview varies from person to person, but you have the strength of driving that interview in your favor. So you can probably introduce, when asked to introduce yourself, you can introduce yourself in a manner, wherein you are emphasizing and focusing on the aspects that you want the panel to talk about more. So that could be one of the ways of, driving the interview in the direction that you wish the interview to be taken to. I haven't really understood Ria's question, but in case Ria, you could frame it a little better. I'm not able to understand your articulation. But I think you're asking about how math dominant is HRM course. So as we talked about, the structure is 30, 30 and 40. 40 for GK, 30 for maths and LR, and 30 for English. So 30 marks is what comprises of the quants or the maths section.
Is GK really difficult? Some people do find GK the most difficult part of this examination because maths and English are something with people who prepare for other exams like government exam, banking, SSC, CGL, they do prepare maths and English really well, but GK is left behind. Again, as we have explained in this stream, you can take that strategy also. Choose your themes, look at previous year papers, solve mocks, and this will really help. Getting something around 25 marks out of 40, it's actually not that difficult. It feels so, but on that day, if you know things, it will happen. So don't judge yourself too much. Just go and give the exam, do your readings well, and that's it. Don't be afraid of GK, maths, or English, whichever is your weak spot. Just focus on your strengths.
Okay, Ria, I'll just take up the follow-up question that you have. No, it's absolutely fine if you have not studied maths in 11th and 12th. As Vipul also mentioned that he was the weakest in quant section. So it's not necessary, that you have to study proper maths till 11th and 12th only then you will be able to clear the exam. You have to have your basics clear, of course, and that is why we recommend that up till at least class 10th, the concepts of up till class 10th should be clear in your head. And again, the more you practice, as Vipul said, the more you will be able to ace a section like quants, because you can't really just do the formulae and you would be done with it. You really have to practice questions. So you don't have to fear maths just because you didn't have it in 11th and 12th. That's absolutely fine.
Again, within 2 months' time, it's not about the time really. You can start right now also, uh, and it's just about the preparation that you are doing. Whenever you are doing, 2 months is enough time. Now 2 months are not left in the exam, I suppose. Maybe you're asking uh, for next year, but again, the principle is that time does not matter. It's the intent or the effort that you put in, it actually counts.
Right. Just to reiterate, the official exam date is yet to be released. But just to give you a timeline, the timeline on the official website says from the last week of January to the last week of February. This is the 1 month window that the administration has released so far. And as soon as there is a specific date that is announced, it would be there on the website as well as on all our social media channels as well. So, but you can prepare keeping this window in mind, that you can be prepared for the last week of January.
Hari, your 10th, 12th, and graduation grades doesn't actually matter in the interview. If you even if you have low scores, we have again, as we said, we have very diverse kind of people. People who have scored in 60s, people who have been toppers all their life. Every kind of person is there in our batch, and this would not be the only sole issue that will be pinpointed. Someone might ask you about it in the interview, but it doesn't mean that you have a lesser percentage, so you have lesser chances. It's absolutely not the case. There are many people in our batch who have lesser academic percentages, and that's how TISS is different from, as I said, your IIMs or your IFTs or your ISBs or different tier one schools. It doesn't judge you that way in terms of your 10th grade.
Mayank is asking about some program suggestions. Again, Mayank, it depends upon your interest areas, your graduation, and you can probably go through the course outline that is available for each of the MA courses that this has to offer, and basis that you can go ahead and decide which preference do you want to fill as your preference 1, 2, and 3. And just in case you haven't filled the form as yet, 15th January is the last date. So make sure that you're filling your form and submitting the form well before that, and do not just wait till the last day to go ahead and do that.
Mayank, suggesting a program, do you actually, you should ask this yourself, which program actually you want to pursue. And because you have mentioned the packages, then I would have to say that, of course, HRM has the highest package in TISS, and placement figures we have shared in this presentation also. And they are available at many, many websites. You can refer to it, and that's why we are here. It's a great course. If you want to pursue it, you can.
Any other specific doubt that you want us to take up? We'll be wrapping up in another 10 to 15 minutes. So if there's anything that you want us to address, you would be happy to take that up. Vaibhav, again, we talked about the cutoff for HRM and LR for the last 3 to 4 years. Anything between 67, 68 to 71, 72 has been a safe score. But you would recommend you that as Vipul also talked about it earlier, you do not just focus on the cutoff, but you focus on attempting the exam in a very strategic manner and you try to maximize your score. But this has been the range that we've seen the cutoff pattern to be in the last, say, couple of years.
Shrikant is saying that I got 45 marks in 2021. Shrikant, it actually doesn't matter how you performed last year. It doesn't even matter how are you performing in mocks right now. Be very, very optimistic about your performance on the day when it matters. So your previous year performance does not mean that you're going to do badly this year also. It's not like that. Go very positively. Have a positive approach towards this exam.
Yes, Saurabh, basic maths is enough for this. That's what we talked about. That your basic concepts have to be clear. You have to brush up your concepts up to class 10 and you have to practice as many questions as you can based on those topics. Just doing concepts won't help. You really have to practice your topic tests, your sectional tests, and eventually your mock tests as well.
Akash wants to know lowest package in which course. Akash, we really don't have information about that. I mean, try to know the highest package. That would be the suggestion.
No, Praj, they will not be inquiring about your previous attempts marks. That's what people said, that what you scored last year or the year previous to that or before that would not really matter as to what you're attempting this year. If you clear the cutoff this year, your interview is going to be based around your profile. So probably they might ask you if you have attempted TISSNET before or not, but that's not a very mandatory kind of question. They may or may not ask about it, but you have to be prepared about your own profile, your own experiences, any quirks that you might have, and your educational background, of course.
Amu is asking how to get motivation back after CAT. So, Amu, I'll try to give you some motivation in the next 1 minute. As I said and repeat some things, this exam is very different from CAT. It is not a maths or English dominant exam. This exam or this college does not judge you on your previous exam. For example, you passed your 10th 10 years back. The interview panel won't ask you why did you score 10% more in your 10th examination. You just have to clear TISSNET cutoff to go into further stages and express your personality in front of a very well educated and learned panel of industry leaders, and which is an opportunity in itself, in my opinion. And also, very important thing is to be optimistic. Whatever happened in CAT is your history, is your past, and TISSNET is the future. Focus on that, and you'll be really good. Don't worry.
And also just go out with a very fresh mindset. Do not go ahead with this backlog in your mind that you've already not done well in one exam or some other exam. Take TISSNET as a fresh slate, as something that you're going to attempt for the first time. Do not let your previous backlogs impact your another attempt. Because as Vipul said, that TISSNET is absolutely different. Your strategy is going to be absolutely different. So make sure that you're not losing out on that opportunity because of a previous bad attempt. Wherever, as we said, we do not have information or statistics about any other courses. You're trying to ask about media and culture course. We do not have information about them, but you can always, refer to the official website to understand their course outline or any other specific information that you might be wishing to inquire for. Anagha is asking about the descriptive exam. So, Anagha, there is no descriptive exam. You have the stage one, which is the TISSNET exam, which is an MCQ computer-based exam. This is followed by the online assessment round, and we are yet to get details about the online assessment round. But as we said before, for the last 2 years, the online assessment has been comprising of two components: your extempore round followed by your personal interview. So, there is no descriptive exam that the administration has announced as such.
Real strategy beneficial for attempting TISSNET. Different aspects of the examination we have already covered. But again, I will repeat, one of the best and most important strategies is attempting all the questions. Make sure you attempt all of the questions. If 5 minutes are left and you have attempted like 90 questions, uh, fill B option for the rest 10 or D option for the rest 10. because it's not wise to leave, right? There's no negative marking. So attempt all the questions and stick to your basics, stick to the books that you have referred to, stick to your sources, and keep on revising. This is the time to have revision and have multiple revisions. That's it. That is the strategy for now. Stick to the basics, they work.
Akash again, organizational growth from TISSNET versus IIM. I think people already covered that if you wish to compare the pedagogy, you wish to compare the placement statistics, everything is there available in the public domain. So you have to make a call for yourself. What this has to offer is something extremely unique, and that is why we started the session by talking about the USPs that this has to offer, because those are the kind of things that you'll not find in any other institute. No IIM, or in fact no other, not just a B school, but no other institute that offers you a master's degree. So if you're really looking for something that's focusing on your holistic growth and also taking care of the placement statistics that some of you might be concerned about, this is the place to be.
Uh, about the hostel facility, yes, there is hostel facility, but there is some criteria. Not everyone gets hostel, and yeah, if you fit in that criteria, you will get a hostel easily. That's not an issue.
Any other questions or any other concerns that any of you might be having? We'll take that up in the next few minutes and then we'll close this session.
Naveen, again, I can't suggest any course to you, brother. Actually, you will have to decide it for yourself, depending upon your background, what you want to study in the future. I'm a doctor, I'm doing HR. It makes a lot of sense to me. So, whatever you do in life should make sense to you, add value to you. Then only you will be able to add value to whatever you do and to society in general, right? So, no one can suggest you. If you want to go for higher packages, all that data is available. HR, of course, has one of the highest packages. Or if you want to do, say, something in social work, then there is a course on social work. So, if you are asking in terms of a monetary sense, then obviously HR should be on top of your priority, along with some other courses, which you can again refer to some different websites to know the details of.
And just to answer Vaibhav's question, Vipul has already talked about it. There is no language barrier for the interview. You can let the panel know beforehand which language you're comfortable in. As long as the panel understands that same language, they would be happy to conduct your interview in the same. So it's not necessary for you to give the interview in English language only.
Nishant, we have talked about our strategies here, and there is nothing unique in our strategies. Uh, you can be here next year, high amount of chances. Just believe in that. There is no unique strategy. Someone who has cleared the exam was there the previous year. You can be here next year. That's the gospel truth.
Anything else that you wish to address us? Or else we'll wrap the session now. All right. Just to sum up, we really hope that this session was helpful to all of you. In
Yeah.
case there are any further doubts, you can reach out to the Aspirants Relations Committee on any of the social media channels that are mentioned on your screen. You can reach out to us for in case of any queries related to the exam or post-exam or anything else in general about HRM and LR or TISS in general. And besides that, we really hope that the session helped you in some way or the other. And if you have any closing remarks.
Yeah, similar things. I hope this session helped you, and you can reach out to all these handles mentioned here. And we both want to just wish you all the very best, and just be optimistic and have a positive approach towards the exam, and it will give you good results.
Thank you for joining in today. All the
Thank
very
you.
best.
Thank you.